I'm Jean-Paul Ambezie. I'm from Cameroon. Cameroon is situated in Africa, Central West Africa, and Cameroon is a very nice country. One of those used to be a stable country in Africa, and it's a bilingual country. French and English are the official languages. I come from the English-speaking part of Cameroon, which is made of 2 regions, and you have the other 8 regions are French-speaking regions. So briefly, that is Cameroon. Cameroon is fondly referred to as Africa in miniature because Cameroon is a very diverse country. It has over 280 ethnic groups and local languages. I have a variety of food and a lot of natural resources. I got to the United States. I got to the United States through a scholarship program, and this was kind of a dream come true because I got this opportunity working in a law firm as administrative clerk. I got a newspaper. Went through the newspaper, I saw an advertisement that if you want to study abroad, there's an opportunity through the U.S. Embassy in Cameroon. So I got it. Contacted a friend. I had a laptop, so my friend and I sent an email, and we were responded to within 24 hours. Got the form, filled the form, and fortunately enough, got feedback after some months. I was called and said I have been pre-selected for the interview and exam. So that's how the journey started. And one thing I might state here is that a lot happened within a very short time. Within 24 hours, I was in an area where it was relatively far off and had to travel over half a day to reach to the major city, which was Bamenda, to have access to the internet to respond by email accepting the offer. And that's how the journey started. From there, I waited for another few months, got a call for the exam proper, got to the embassy, did the exams. I didn't even know what it was all going to be. So went for interview from the US. After going through the successful interview, being pre-selected, and after being finally selected, I was finally informed that I was going to be in the US, and that was so wonderful for me. And since I had a background in ag, before coming, I had graduated from a vet school, so I had chosen to do agriculture. And amongst the various colleges that the international program was working with, Muscatine Community College was one of them, and they were offering agriculture. So that's how I got to Muscatine Community College. I knew nothing about Muscatine. I knew nothing about Iowa. Popular states that I knew about were like Texas, California, New York, so Maryland, Iowa. I had no idea about Iowa. And I said, all right, since I've decided I want to do agriculture, and Iowa happens to be an agricultural environment, so I have to go there, I have to learn, I have to experience what agriculture is in the US compared to what we have. So that's how I got to Muscatine Community College. And at Muscatine Community College, going through the various agricultural programs, I registered for agribusiness and technology, because going through I saw that the programs were going to be very interesting to me, and I was going to learn something which was going to help me in the long-term career-wise and professional-wise. So that's how the journey started. Remember my first experience going to the field with Marshall, who was the head of the program. I was so amazed when I saw cornfields. I said, I've never seen this in my life, because in Cameroon we don't have such fields. We have the small plots and with a variety of crops grown on it. So when I got here, I saw large fields of corn, soybeans. That was something I had never seen, and I knew that that was going to be the beginning for me to learn new things, to have a better experience in agriculture, because everything I will be learning, I will be seeing it practically in the field. Moving to the United States, it was like, okay, a leap into the dark, if I may say so, because I didn't know who I was going to meet. I knew I was going to be detached from my family, and there was going to be a gap. So fortunately enough, when I got to the United States, to Muscatine, I realized that I already had a family, because everybody was so welcoming. Everybody that was involved in the program, everybody that was around the community, everybody that was around the college was so welcoming. So every now and then they would walk and ask, how are you feeling? How is the family back home? Are you communicating with them? Because they knew that homesick is usually kind of an illness when one has to leave his family and get to the United States. Marshall McDonald was like, that was my entry point into the community, and being a member of the Muscatine Community College and head of the department, he was very, very fatherly. Yeah, he took me as a son, and he helped me throughout my stay at Muscatine. He was the one who helped me have my first flying experience. He took me out and was able to view the city of Muscatine. So that was something I've never had, and it was so great because having traveled for the first time from Cameroon through Brussels to the United States, I had another opportunity with him to view the city. So aside from Marshall, there were so many other persons, John David, Jeremy, and we had Jennifer, who was head of the program, and a lot of other Americans who were very helpful. I will not forget Jeff Armstrong, who was the president at that time. Yeah, Jeff was so nice. Yeah, may so rest in peace. Jeff, in my lifetime, from the background I come from, you will never get to see maybe the rector of the university or a high-ranking person, but Jeff will move right down to our apartments. Jeff will ask us what do we need, and he was always ready to assist us and provide us with anything we needed, because he knew we were far from home, and I was happy that far from home I already had a home that was already established here. I had the experience of getting to know the American culture. Halloween was something I've never known, I've never experienced. I've only read it online. I happened to see what it was, how crazy it was, and I knew that that is culture. Those are people's culture. I had an experience, thanks to Marshall, my first Thanksgiving experience in the US, where he had to take me to his family, and something that has never gone off my mind. I know what it means when Americans talk of Thanksgiving. Yeah, I lived the experience, and it has never gone off my mind. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. That built a solid relationship between me and the community, and far beyond the community, because I had the opportunity of spending time with the Muscatine sister city, and I had the opportunity of moving around. I had to visit about 8 different states, and this is thanks to one other teacher, Dan McDermott. He was very helpful to me. He took me to several states for agricultural purposes. I was able to attend several conferences, international conferences, poultry and hawk. It was thanks to that. So I had a lot of exposure, which gave me the skills that I will be needing when I go back home to Cameroon. What I learned and what I obtained as a degree from Muscatine Community College, as earlier stated, my degree was in agribusiness and technology. This was quite something new. When I go back to Cameroon, this is what helped me to get the jobs that I got, because after applying for jobs, when they look at my credential and having seen that I studied in the United States and the degree that I obtained from it, it didn't favor me, but the skills I had learned and the knowledge I had acquired helped me to go through the exams, the tests that I took. I started off working with a non-governmental organization, a Northwest Farmers Organization. I served as the agricultural production officer both in crops and livestock. So I worked there for some time. Then I had another opportunity to work in finance, specifically in agricultural value chain finance with the credit union network. So I worked there for over 5 years, and all this is thanks to the skills that I learned and earned at Muscatine Community College in agribusiness and technology. If I had not had those skills, if I had not had that knowledge, I would not have had the position to work in these two organizations. So that's having said that, 12 years ago, I got into the United States. I already established a long-lasting relationship, not only within the college, but within the community. This is one of the driving forces that has brought me here, because I've been in communication with people here over the past 12 years. And I thought it was time for me to come again, share, interact with them, and pass through the college to see what has happened, to be able to share my experience with the students who are currently on campus, to inspire them so that they should know that what MCC is offering to them is going to be very useful for them in life. Taking my case as a case study and talking to them to see and to know that they have a lot of opportunities that they don't know they have, and trying to urge them, if they can, to move out from their comfort zones, to travel if they can, because when they leave their comfort zones, you're able to experience what life is elsewhere. You're able to appreciate what is going on in the world, and you're able to appreciate what they have, which they are not appreciating. That is something which I want to share and inspire them. Talk about my country, Cameroon. As I said, it was a peaceful country. Yeah, unfortunately, for the past 6-7 years going, we are faced with kind of an armed conflict, a civil war ongoing. Unfortunately, it's underreported. Yeah. Kids from my part of the region, that is from the English-speaking part, the northwest and the southwest regions of Cameroon, regrettably have not been to school for the past 7 years. This is something that is so touching to me, because I had the opportunity of coming to the United States thanks to the education that I have. And when I look at the kids who are not given the opportunity to go to school because of the war that is going, I see the future very, very bleak. Yeah. This is Cameroon. This is something we have never hoped for. This is something we have never prayed should happen. But unfortunately, politics has made it to be the way it is. Lives have been lost, and lives are still being lost. If I have to take time off, it has been a very sad moment. Yeah, I've missed the bullet more than 5 times. And sad enough, since I came here, I've been enjoying my stay. Yesterday, regrettably, my uncle, who happened to be my dad's lone surviving brother, who was like my dad, because my dad died when I was 12 years. He died yesterday in prison. He was abducted by the government because he was one of the union leaders who wanted the government to look into the problems that the people were talking about the marginalization of the educational system, the judicial system, but the government failed to listen to them. The government rather arrested all the union leaders. Unfortunately, he has died in prison. Yeah, I've been so saddened, but I remain strong because the people who are around me, when I shared my story, they have been very supportive. Yeah. I keep praying that those who have the power to do something, let them do it fast, so that more lives should not be lost, so that peace can return to Cameroon. People can go about their lives. Children can be able to return to school and go to school freely.
My name is Marshall McDonald. I was an agriculture instructor here at Muscatine Community College from 1980 to 2013. Previous to that, I was a student here in the 70s. And I met Jean-Paul as an international student in 2010 and 2011. here at the college when he applied for and entered our agricultural program. Very important for the United States and educational institutions to have international students in their programs because the more that we can understand each other's cultures from different countries, the better we'll get along, the better we'll understand each other. And it's been a privilege and an honor for me to have not only Jean-Paul from Cameroon as an international student, but all the international students that came here from around the world. They're very fine representatives of their country, very intelligent, hardworking, and it was really my privilege to try to help them any way that I could. It's benefit to them to understand our ways of agriculture, our technology, our culture, but it's equally as important to our students to understand and meet people from other countries like Cameroon, to understand their culture and their traditions and what's important to them. And what you'll find in common around the world is that everyone cares about their family and they just want what's best for them, their family, and their country. Jean-Paul was very interested in learning all that he could, and we were very interested in teaching him and exposing him to all of our technologies and techniques in agriculture. He was able to work and be exposed to different poultry operations. I think it's important for Jean-Paul and all the students to be able to experience some of our American culture, so while he was here, he spent time with our family at a Thanksgiving get-together and found out what it's like to do it a traditional American Thanksgiving. I was able to, as a pilot, give him a plane ride around the area, and he was able to travel quite a bit and meet people from other educational institutions and be exposed to our technologies and how we do things here. And I was impressed with how interested he was in everything that he learned. When international students, including Jean-Paul, are in class and we discuss issues, it's enlightening for our students to learn how they go about their livelihood and their living in their countries, and many discussions lead to discussions about basics, food and shelter and energy, and it's a bit of a learning curve for our students, and it's a very important thing for our students to learn how other people live in other countries. Oftentimes we don't appreciate what we have here. And one of the things that bringing international students in to programs does is that it opens our American students' eyes to the realization that the way we live here is not the same as it is in other parts of the world. Well, I am certainly thrilled and delighted to see Jean-Paul again. And I pretty much have stayed in contact with all of the international students that I had in our program, and I care for them deeply. And I was able to visit some in other countries while I was here. And it's an honor and a privilege to be able to stay in contact with them and be their friend. And I missed that part since I've retired of being able to be with all of our students as well as the international students, and I'm just really delighted that they've stayed in contact with me and that we stay in contact with each other.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Pickard from Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, and I serve as the Dean of Instruction for the Ag, Business, and Professional Services Division. Most people don't know about some of the nuggets of greatness that we have throughout our district, and one of them has been the history of hosting international students. Muscatine Community College is a strong partner with the Sister Cities International group here, and there's been a number of delegations that have come and gone. We also participate with the China Study Abroad Exchange Program. The applications have actually been open here for a few weeks, and there's a group that is planning on going to China for 4 weeks this coming summer. And so we're excited about that opportunity as well through the Sarah Landy Foundation. I just want to say that international students have deeply changed my life, and just this past week when I had the chance to host John Paul again at my home and then also at the place where I work, just to introduce him to my colleagues and my friends and to learn more about Cameroon. And I've grown in my knowledge and understanding of Cameroon, but I also have grown in my understanding of the United States as well. And I think sometimes when you get to know about someone else's country and culture, you also learn a little bit about your own country and culture. Just earlier today, I had the chance to video chat with his wife and daughter who are back in Cameroon. And what you find out is people are more similar than they are different. And talking to his wife and his daughter really reminded me of just the conversations that I have with my own family as well. And I could just see the deep love that his family had for him and he had for them. And I think that's the great part that bonds us together is really we enjoy our families, we go to work and we want to provide for them, we want to live good lives, and that is a universal truth that we can all rally around. And so with that, I appreciate your time today. I hope you enjoyed the segment, and we look forward to hosting our next delegation or our next international guest here in Muscatine.